President Joe Biden dropped a huge bomb today, announcing a federal vaccine mandate impacting employers all across the country and about 100 million Americans. So for tonight's big story, we're digging into whether it's legal for employers to require vaccines that don't have full FDA approval, and insurance penalties that you end up paying if you refuse the shot. But first tonight, let's break down exactly what's in the president's new plan.
The first part of the president's six-point plan is the one that most people are talking about tonight, increasing the number of vaccinated Americans by requiring all employers with more than 100 workers to make vaccines mandatory or to test their workers for COVID weekly. The president also plans to mandate vaccines for most federal workers and federal contractors.
You're looking at upwards of 15 to 20% of the American workforce. That's huge.
Also on the president's list, protecting vaccinated Americans by making booster shot access easy and keeping schools open by asking states to adopt vaccine mandates for all school workers. The rest of the president's plan includes an increase in testing, mask mandates, economic recovery, and improving care for those who are diagnosed with COVID.
We can and we will turn the tide on COVID-19. It'll take a lot of hard work. It's going to take some time.
There's already a lot of pushback from Republican leaders, especially here in Indiana. Attorney General Todd Rokita shared this message online, saying he won't let the president destroy guaranteed freedoms or the economy. In a separate statement, the AG told us his team is now preparing to file a lawsuit if necessary. Senator Mike Braun also pushed back tonight against President Biden's plan, saying this mandate violates the individual liberty our country was built on. And the Republican National Committee announced tonight it plans to sue the Biden administration over this vaccine mandate.
You know, we've seen a lot of questions over the past couple of months about whether or not private companies can legally require employees to get the vaccine. Here's what our Verify team found. When it comes to vaccines with only emergency use authorization, like the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson shots, medical experts say it is kind of a gray area. The FDA's rules for emergency use authorization tell us recipients have the option to accept or refuse the vaccine.
How can you plausibly argue that an individual can be required to get it?
Other medical experts agree, saying a mandate for those unlicensed vaccines wouldn't hold up in court. But the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission says employers can mandate these vaccines as long as they comply with federal laws. Now, when it comes to fully licensed vaccines like Pfizer's, there are established precedents.
For 99% of the U.S. population, if they want to, they can mandate it.
The EEOC issued guidance that employers can require those COVID vaccines and can make employees show proof that they got one. The two exceptions are people with medical issues or religious objections.
A reasonable accommodation might be, make them work in a separate area, mandate a mask.
EEOC guidance says if exempt people can't safely be accommodated, an employer can keep them out of the workplace, but they can't automatically fire them.
The FDA doesn't specify if companies can't have consequences for employees who don't get the vaccine. That's what we're seeing right now with Delta Airlines. They're charging employees who pass on the shots. Tonight, our Allison Gormley tells us what's the deal with this insurance incentive.
That extra charge is $200 a month. So why can Delta Airlines charge unvaccinated workers? We turn to medical billing expert Jonathan Hess. Delta Airlines is self-insured, meaning they pay customer claims themselves, not a big insurance company.
You really can't do anything from the health plan perspective. So what they're doing is part of their wellness program.
Wellness programs can offer incentives or surcharges for lifestyle choices like exercising or smoking. If employees don't want to pay a surcharge, they can always drop the company health insurance, either going on a spouse's or buying it through Marketplace. So can this happen to me? Well, it depends. If your company or insurer offers a wellness program, it can implement a surcharge like Delta Airlines did for not getting vaccinated. Keep in mind there are still exceptions for people with religious or health issues. If you have Marketplace insurance or Obamacare, You shouldn't see this because of the laws in place.
They don't ask me if I have been vaccinated for measles, mumps, rubella, ... right? They can't ask, any of those things.
Keep in mind, companies can also mandate vaccines, skipping the insurance route altogether. That is, if the state didn't ban a mandate.
Today, Los Angeles public schools became the first in the country to make vaccines mandatory for students 12 and older. That school district has more than 600,000 students currently enrolled and already requires kids and employees to undergo weekly COVID testing regardless of vaccination. Students have until mid-December to get fully vaccinated, but staff members have to get all their shots by October 15th.